This is Friday, December the 1st, 2017. I'm back at the boat. Going to do just a little bit. It's very foggy out. It's been misting today. Afraid to do too much on the deck. Don't want to get anything too wet. Kind of give you a background view of the arena. But what I am going to try to do here is just patch a few screw holes. A lot of this crap I just do because I think it'll work. Don't know that much about it. If you want to try it, go for it. But this is what I got. Just going to do a few screw holes and a few cracks up front. I'll show you them later on. What I've got here, you can see this, is got this screw hole here that was through the deck. Got another one right here that was through the deck, and then one over here. Now these first two, what I've done is I've taken about a 1/2 inch drill bit that just happened to be laying on the boat. Used it to get in and kind of bevel out these holes a little bit to give the epoxy something to stick to. It actually works pretty good by hand. I'm afraid if I had a drill it would probably just go through the hole very quickly, and that's not what I'm wanting to do, or through the fiberglass I should say, not necessarily the hole. Just going to chip a little bit away here. The reason I'm getting rid of these is these two here, I don't know, they just had a little finish washer on top. Don't know what purpose they were, and I don't want any holes through the boat that I don't need. The one down here was where there was a snap for the canvas top, and there's several more, but these are really just the three I'm going to concentrate on right now. I'm going to smear the mix up the epoxy and put it in here in just a second. I'll come back to that, and then I'll go up front and we'll look at the hatch and what my plans are and what I've done up there so far. Alright, I'm up here on this hatch on the front. I'm going to try a few different ways to fill some cracks. You can kind of see those spider cracks going through there. I've already filled those with some super glue gel. That's probably not the preferred technique. If you come around this hatch, there's some more spider cracks there. Come on down the side, there's a lot more. And then come on around the front, you'll see some. Now, my point here is that I would prefer to try to fix these cracks without doing a whole lot of preliminary grinding. I don't want to demolish this any more than I have to. These cracks right here, I did come through with a grout saw and kind of scored away some of the surface to give the epoxy something to stick to. When I get down to these, I'm going to put a little bit of epoxy on one part and put some more super glue on another part. And a little bit later on I'll tell you why I'm trying this. Alright, I've got my epoxy mixed up. There you see the super glue. I'm going to start by smearing some epoxy into these places, and then I'll go back to the super glue a little bit later because I'm going to have to go get another stir stick that I didn't bring. So here goes some epoxy. This is not the real nice West Systems. This is just plain old Bondo brand. I'm going to smear this in to these. The reason I'm thinking that this may work is because when I was making another repair on part of the deck, I got a couple of drops of this stuff right on top of the gel coat. And so I said, well, I'll just let it dry and I'll pop it off with my putty knife after it's dry. Well, lo and behold, when I went to pop it off with a putty knife, it gouged out some of the gel coat instead of just knocking free. So because of that one little situation, what I'm kind of thinking is that if I can just get this down into the cracks, that it's going to bond to the gel coat and make a stronger bond than the gel coat itself is. So why would I want to go through and make a whole lot more work for myself by trying to grind this stuff out, get a bevel on it, just turn around and fill it with epoxy and have to grind it all over again. If I can just do this, hit it with some fine sandpaper and just come back and smooth it off. We'll see how that works. Maybe it will. Oh yeah, I've got these up here I'm going to try to do this with. This may be probably going to put some thickener in it before I do these other two. So let me go do that. Well, I'm back. I got another stir stick. I went and got my thickener, which is this West Systems Colloidal Silica 406. Never used this stuff before, and it's hard to describe how easy it is for it to fly away. And just trying to, when you pick the can up, it almost feels like it's full of air. It's so light. See if I can stir this in, thicken this up. I'm going to put my camera down. I'll come back in a minute. Well, I got it thickened up a little bit. This is a little thicker than honey. Let's see, we're going to put this in these cracks that I had gone through and kind of bored out just a little bit with that grout saw. Doing all this kind of as an experiment for myself. Just so I kind of have an idea of what works best as I progress on this stuff. This isn't going to be an all-day job here. Got work at the house to do. But I was going to try to get a little bit done here just for experimentation purposes. So we'll stop there. Okay, I'm back up here at the hatch. Got this super glue gel. It's the Gorilla Glue brand. Use whatever you want. Come through here. Doesn't take much of this stuff, and it don't have to be exactly right on top of the crack either. Because what we're going to do, we're going to come in with a clean epoxy stir stick. Just try to make sure we get this stuff pushed down into the crack. And I realize that there's probably some dust in here, maybe even a little bit of algae or something growing. But overall, I feel like it's going to stick. It may not stick 100% in every single little place on it, but it is going to stick. It's going to fill the crack. It should wind up appearing smooth later on whenever it comes time to sand and paint. But there's that one right there. Give this stuff a chance to dry, and we'll come back and look at it. I'm going to try to hit a little bit of the super glue. The epoxy stuff is still drying. I'll do this by hand. I know that the crack will still be visible. I expect that. What I'm hoping to do though is that when the paint goes on it, it will no longer be visible. But because of being dark and the super glue being clear, you're still going to see it. It's not a problem at this point. Not worried about these textured surfaces. Whenever I repaint the deck, I've got some shark skin texture additive, anti-slip stuff that I'm going to put on it, so it will recreate the texture. I'm not real, like I said, I'm not worried about if I sand it all the way or not. So as we make a few of these repairs, you'll see that. I'll get my fingernail there. And I really can't say that I feel the crack. I like that. Okay, if I rub my hand across it, there's something. I think that's super glue buildup I'm feeling. Yeah, it's kind of thick right in here. Don't want to mess that hinge up, even though I'm probably going to replace them. Yep, fingernail test, no crack. I'm happy. Well, that's about all you need to watch on somebody sanding for now. This is real thin. I don't want to risk peeling everything off any more than I have to, so I'm going to wipe it down with some acetone. Try to get that sticky blush off of it before I hit it with a sander. See how they turn out. I've already done some of the screw holes up front. I'm happy with them. I'll go back and show you how all that turned out whenever I get through here. Okay, let's give this a shot. Okay. Yep, we got it. That feels good. Good enough for now. Okay, I'm back up here at these holes in the deck. I'm going to use the same thickened mixture that I had rather than putting any mesh in it. I feel like if I can just get this in deep enough that this plasticized epoxy or resin or whatever word you choose to call it should suffice. It's not like these are high stress areas. Even if you get stepped on, I don't think it will hurt. So over here on this one, I'll try to get everything packed down in a hole good, just so that it has full penetration on this outer layer. Saw an air bubble there, don't want that. A little bit more. Oops. As I said before, that little thing right there will cause a big mess later. I don't need any more breakage. Alright, there's those three. It's kind of built up high, but that'll be easy enough to knock off. Okay, I'm just outside the companionway. Got another hole that I found. Somebody had stuck some electrical tape on. I'm going to try to use this same mixture, but put a little bit of fiber in it. Just want to kind of get it buttered a little bit here. And all I've done is cut a few little squares out of some fiberglass mesh. And there's a screw here, kind of tuck it down in the hole a little bit just to give it some depth. See, now this isn't wetting as good as I'd hoped. But I feel like overall, it's all said and done, it's going to be okay. Closet bolt that was left on the boat. I'm not real sure what the intention was with that. My intention is to use it to pack this fiberglass down into this hole. What I'm going to do is just get it kind of close with a few layers of fiberglass, and then just top it off with some resin. Got enough smeared around the top edge there that it should be okay. And for the most part, looking at it, the fiberglass mesh has turned translucent. So I would say that it's wetted in pretty good. I'll try to get this worked out a little bit better. So it'll be less work later on. A little bit of fiberglass hair in that little drop. Okay, we'll come back to that with a grinder, sander, something here in a little bit. Well, I thought I'd just kind of give an overview of what I was able to do today. It didn't stay long, a couple hours maybe, but I did get these holes that's got the epoxy in it, or the resin. The top ones I got sanded, but there was an issue there I had to redo. And that's kind of like what you can expect it to look like when it's finished, nice and smoothed out with the surface. Outside, this was the hole through the floor just outside the companionway. It didn't really wet out as good as I thought. There was a big gap in between the layers, so I had to pour some epoxy on it, but now it's sanded down and it's looking good. The holes that were through in the upper deck, you can kind of see what they turned out like. I think they're pretty good. That's some maybe in the first video I had that you could see through the deck. I went ahead and did them. The others are on the other side just like it. The other work that I got done was up front on the hatch. You saw that take place, so there's no sense in me going back up there. That's all for today.